Mr. Purdue, who was your preseason Super Bowl picks?
My preseason Super Bowl pick was the Broncos.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear. You can stop right there. That's all.
And
all
the
right,
49ers.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
Oh, boy.
What's up, football fans, and welcome to another edition of Field Vision, brought to you by War Room Sports in conjunction with Sports Kings. I'm your host, Devin McMillan, and I'm here at the round table this evening with the homies. We got Damon Jackson of GridironTribune.com. What's up, Dame?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Another Friday. Excited for playoff action tomorrow. Starting tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We got Frank Santos, Sports Kings.
Let me ask you guys a serious question. What would you rather do? Sit in 2-degree weather and freeze your ass off, or watch the game at home in HD?
I would rather watch the game at home in HD, but I do have tickets for tomorrow's game. We got Fred Purdue, heavy in the games.
What's up, guys? I'm watching Ohio State Clemson. You guys, let's make this quick.
All right. And we got Jimmy the Blueprint.
Yo.
Of War Room Sports.
Bronco gang is in the building. I got my playoff beard. I'm ready. Yo, shout out to my brother B. Austin, who's doing court order community service. He's trying to bring clean water to some disenfranchised children, yo. Salute to you, brother. Let's go. Let's talk some playoff football.
All right. Y'all see, I got on my leather helmet. I just couldn't afford leather. So we're here to talk about NFL Wildcard Weekend. Before we do, something came down in the news earlier today. I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on it real quick. Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, says that he is highly in favor of expanding the playoff field by maybe about 4 teams. What do you guys think of that, especially coming from Jerry Jones?
I think Jerry Jones is just tired of not making the playoffs every year. He just wants an extra spot.
He's like, I've missed out by 1 game for the last 3 years. Just let more of us in there. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, first off, I just want to say that, in the words of the great philosopher Randy Moss, man, it's straight cash, homie. It's about that money. And by adding those teams, it would give him a chance to make more revenue because his team is always mediocre. And, we don't accept mediocrity. We're steadfast in the war against ignorance. So we don't think he should make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, he's a mediocre team. So by expanding it, he will put his team in, and they probably won't win anyway. But at the end of the day, that's a chance to fill up that stadium and sell some hot dogs and some sodas and, And you know what parking is in that bitch?
Actually,
you know what parking though? Yo, Jerry
I've been to
Jones
that
charged
stadium.
like $100
That stadium.
to like park.
Yo, they sell
20 blocks
Kobe
away.
burgers. They sell steak. Yo, that stadium is crazy. Any other opinions on Jerry?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said hot dogs. Yeah.
When you're 134 and 134 since 1997, I would want to expand the playoffs too, and I still wouldn't get it in because my name is Jerry Jones and my quarterback can't get it done even when it matters.
Even though it wasn't his fault this year, he ain't play though.
I was about to say
It's still his fault.
If they expanded
keyword, I didn't say which quarterback. I just said my quarterback.
I think I'm gonna disagree with this one. I think this is 12. I think 12 teams is enough because it represents hard work. All 32 teams are working for one goal, but it shows that those 12 teams that did get in, that's dedication, that's hard work. Look at the San Diego Chargers. They were pretty much dead in the water before that game against Denver. So it proves that you got to get your stuff together at the end of the day, and the Dallas Cowboys can't do it. And like you guys said, maybe just Jones.
So,
I mean,
he's just trying
16 teams. That'd be half the league though. Half the league would make the playoffs.
He's on the side.
He makes the playoffs in the NBA though.
Jerry
he's
Jones
gonna make it in the NBA. Yeah,
teams. He means 13 teams. He just wants his own team.
He just want one more.
I think the other risk you run by having 4 more teams, the other risk you run is having teams under 500 get in. I mean, think about it. This season, if we had 4 more teams, yeah, I mean, like you're saying, it happens already. So you're bound to have like a 7-9, even maybe a 6-10 team in if you add 4 more teams. That's just crazy.
Well, Frank, that's like Damon just said. Jerry Jones is not trying to hear none of that. He just wants some way for his Cowboys to get in. And if they expand the field, they'll probably find a way to choke.
But here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, Jerry Jones is a genius, yo. Because first off, this whole moniker of America's team is the greatest thing ever. And I hate the Cowboys, but let's face it. Playoffs start tomorrow, and we're talking about the Cowboys. Jerry Jones finds a way to keep his team's name in the news, yo. So give him his props for that.
No doubt, because somebody's going to watch this and they'll go buy a Romo jersey just because of this. So
there you go.
All right, let's talk about these games for Wild Card Weekend. We're going to start, we'll do them in order of when they're going to come on. So we'll start with the Chiefs at the Colts. The Colts was one of three franchises. It was the Colts, the Packers, and the Bengals who were actually having trouble selling out this game, mainly because of the weather for the other teams, but I don't really see an excuse for the Colts because they play in a stadium with a roof on it. Chiefs at Colts, let's break it down. Who wants to start us off and give us your thoughts on this game?
I'll start it off. I think to be honest, I think the Colts are the wild card in the AFC. I think they're the only team that realistically can beat either the Patriots or the Broncos. I don't think that the Chiefs or the Bengals or the Chargers can do so. I think the Colts will pull it off because they're at home. I think if it was at head, I would definitely think that the Chiefs would win. But with the home field advantage, I don't really trust that Kansas City offense to do much against the Colts. So I'm going to go with the Colts comfortably. I think it'll be a comfortable game.
See, I'm afraid of the Colts at this point because I'm not one of those guys who, put the whole stake of a franchise on the back of a wide receiver because I think wide receiver is probably the most dependent position in the NFL, but this team has looked very average since Reggie Wayne has gone down. They had a favorable schedule, to keep them where they are. Well, a favorable division to keep them, where they are in the race. I like the Colts. I actually root for them and would like to see them win, but I actually think the Chiefs are going to come in there, and I think it's going to be too much Jamal Charles in the running game and the passing game. Of course, they're going to play it safe with Alex Smith, but I think the Chiefs, with the defense and with a lot of work from Jamal Charles, are going to come in and pull that off. Plus, it's Andy week. Well, he's not getting a bye, but he kind of rested his players last week, so that's almost like Andy Reid off a bye week.
I hate that. I hate that he rested his players too.
He did that in Philly too, so that's his thing.
I don't trust Alex Smith. My left tackle's hurt. My right tackle's hurt. My two best pass rushers are hurt. My best wide receivers hurt. Oh, by the way, we're on the road. Give me the Colts comfortably. I just.
Yeah, here we go.
Comfortably.
Didn't you say yesterday? Give me Alabama comfortably. Now it's the Colts comfortably. I'm just saying.
Give me the Colts comfortably. Home field advantage, and I understand why. Again, to answer your question, I understand why the Colts are struggling to sell tickets. The in-home experience. I'd rather watch it at home than go and pay that much for a ticket. And also,
but they play indoors.
Yeah, but playoff tickets are through
comfortable.
the roof.
Yeah, playoff. Yeah.
Do you want to? Would you like to mortgage? Would you like to give your whole paycheck for one ticket?
I actually see what you guys are saying because my group actually has an extra ticket to the Eagles game, and we've been trying to sell that ticket for like 5 days. And all these diehard Eagles fans, I can't get the tickets sold.
I just can't. I like the in-home experience. I get as many replays as I want. I can record the game if I want and watch it over and over and over. All of those great features, I can do that at home in the comfort of my house. And by the way, I don't have to pay for an expensive hot dog.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that, right? I just sidebar. I just read a book called Age of Context, and they were saying the NFL is kind of fallen victim to their own genius. They made the in-home experience so great that during the course of the season, a lot of teams have trouble selling tickets these days. And Fred, your New England Patriots, they said they spearheaded a campaign to try to make the games better live by adding all kinds of technology and stuff. But that's a whole nother discussion. In terms of this game, I'm going to take the Chiefs, and here's why. This is crazy logic. But the Colts have the ability to lose games they should win and win games they should lose, and they've done it all season. The Colts as well as the Bengals, they both do this. And they should win this game. But because they should win this game, I'm taking the Chiefs. Before you laugh at my logic, I did win our pick'em pool during the course of the entire season, so shout out to everybody who I crushed. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my pick.
I'd shout out to Jimmy because after he got his lead, I was rooting for him.
Oh yeah, because we don't pay prizes. We compete. Oh yeah, we compete with all of our listeners and all of our fans, and if we win, you will not get no No prizes. We give enough prizes out. So if we win, you won't get a prize, and I won, so there will be no prize this year.
All right, Dave, who you got?
I'm going to take the Colts on this one. I think the key is going to be the linebacking core of the Colts. If the Colts can find a way to stop the running game from Jamal Charles, I think they got a chance because this is a Colts team. They did a good job of not necessarily allowing teams to score. If they figure out a way to stop the running game and Alex Smith, I think they got a chance. And not to mention the fact that they're at home. I think they got a pretty good chance in this one.
Yeah. The Colts they actually always find a way to stop their own running game.
Like Mr. Jimmy said, this is a situation where this is a game they're going to come in, they're not expected to win, and they're going to end up winning this game because of that. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts find a way to stop their own running game, too. So
shout out to the quarterback for leading the team in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, maybe it's time. Maybe Trent Richardson is going to look like, he came from Alabama and.
Not like last night, Alabama.
Not so. Can I stop
or does he already look like he came from Alabama?
Can I stop you right there?
Eddie Lacy,
can I stop you right there? Outside of Eddie Lacy, every running back.
That's what I'm about to say. Maybe he
has been a bust. Has been a bust.
All right. Well, speaking of the
shout out to Mark Ingram.
In our next game, Saints at Eagles. Pierre Thomas has been ruled out for this game, so Mark Ingram will get his chance to shine. What are you guys' thoughts on this game? It's going to be about 23 degrees at kickoff. Damon, who you got?
This is my team. This is my team against your team. So allow me to speak first.
Who that?
Who that? Say gonna beat them Saints. Tomorrow's gonna be the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry.
Ooh, okay. Way to be objective.
I keep it objective, fellas, and I'm gonna just be honest. Anytime we're talking precipitation on the road. When the Saints are in the situation, they're not going to win. It's as simple as that. We go all the way back to 2007 with the Bears in the NFC Championship game. You go back to earlier this year, Carolina, in that monsoon of a game. They lost that game in the precipitation. And you talk about the game against the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. So if Mark Ingram can get it going, I think they got a chance. But unfortunately, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be objective. And given the time that he's had, here in New Orleans, I just don't see it happening. Not tomorrow.
See, and I'm a pessimistic Eagles fan, so I'm thinking Mark Ingram might go back to Heisman form on us. You know what I'm saying, during this game. The game definitely scares me. I mean, you have all the factors with the Saints and their record and cold weather, inclement weather, but the fact that they have Drew Brees.
Always got a chance.
It scares me as an Eagles fan. I think they always have a chance. So that weather stuff doesn't even mean anything to me because bottom line, in my opinion, everybody has to play in that same weather. All of those guys on the Eagles team aren't from there, and they really haven't played in this kind of stuff until that snow game against Detroit. It hasn't really been that cold. So I can't really give them the excuse of being experienced in this because a lot of those guys aren't. As far as the game goes, though, of course, the Eagles are going to try to give them a heavy dose of the league's leading rusher, LaShawn McCoy. On defense, they're going to have a hell of a time trying to stop Jimmy Graham. Witten did the thing to him last week. And, of course, the Saints, when they get in trouble, is Jimmy Graham time. Michael Kendrick, that'll probably be his main assignment with some safety help. But I think it'll be a case where, like, with Jimmy Graham, sometimes it doesn't matter the kind of coverage that you play because at the end of the day, they can just throw the ball up. And I think once they get in important situations, that's going to be a big weapon for them. So I say all this to say, and I'm usually on record of picking against my team, I think the Eagles might pull out a close one.
I like what you did there.
I think they might pull out a close one at home. Sorry to say to my Eagles fans, if they do, I think that might be as far as they go. But that might be a conversation for next week if they make it to next week. Frank, who you got in this one?
I definitely have the Eagles. I think that they're it's going to be a shootout. I don't think there's much question about that. I think the Eagles, their defense has been better. I think they're still an average defense, but the type of defense that they are matches up well with the Saints. The Eagles have a lot of speed on defense. And I mean, it's not like the Saints have a great rushing game like we've discussed that they're going to like abuse you, between the tackles. So, I mean, I definitely think that the Eagles are going to take full advantage. I think the New Orleans defense is going to be looking at LaShawn McCoy's behind for the rest of the game going, who dat? Who dat running past us? That's LaShawn McCoy for his third touchdown. I got Eagles 49-35. I think they're going to put up almost 50 on them. Yeah.
20-degree weather?
Yeah, don't matter. LaShawn McCoy better have at least 25 carries in this game, otherwise I'm going to be mad.
Frank, the Eagles put up 49 points. I promise you will see me on TV because I'm going to just take my shirt off and run around.
Don't scare the little kid. Don't scare the little kid.
Hey, if they do that, I'm going to scare everybody. Who you got, Fred?
I'm going to go with the Saints on this one. I just think wow.
That wasn't me.
You made a great point. When you have a guy like Drew Brees on your team, it always gives you a chance.
We got Nick Foles, though.
Yes, they do have Nick Foles. But my answer to LaShawn McCoy is Darren Sproles. A lot of folks are not talking about Darren Sproles and how he can. I'm
afraid of him too.
How he can impact the game in the screen game, not necessarily between the tackles. You're not talking about a guy like a Lance Moore, not like a Marcus Colston, guys on the defensive side of the ball. I really like Cameron Jordan. I really like I like what they do on defense. They're not going to be attacking, but I think the tempo side of things will possibly give them problems. But I think this Saints team can win with a field goal at the end.
Yeah, I think if the Eagles don't get pressure on Breeze like they didn't get pressure against Orton last week, it'll be a long day for Philly. And you can't just let him sit back there like that. You
also,
have
the
to
one
get
thing
pressure.
I also have to say about Drew Brees, you forget Drew Brees.
Got to stretch that neck.
Drew Brees did play at Purdue. He's used to this cold weather, and he broke a lot of college records. And granted, it is college football, but he broke a lot of college records in West Lafayette.
Okay.
That's why I don't believe in that weather stuff, man.
I mean, I generally don't either, but I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, they put up 18 points on the road. So outside of being cold weather, they don't play well on the road at all. They only average 18 points a game this season on the road. So let's take the weather out of the equation. The fact of the matter is they're a terrible road team. And with that being said, I can't be objective anyway. I just told you guys I had a playoff fantasy draft, and I have Nick Foles as well as Riley Cooper on my team. So tomorrow is all about white power, and I'm watching the game with a sheet on my head. Let's go. But honestly, though, let's keep it real. I definitely have the Eagles. The Saints aren't a good road team. Not saying the Eagles are a great home team because they struggle at home as well.
They struggle at home.
But in terms of who's playing better right now, who's playing better football, I think the Eagles are playing better football than the Saints are. The Saints, as a team, I think, peaked early this season. We talk about this often, how teams peak at different times in the season. I think the Saints peaked early. I think it's the opportunity for the Eagles to get a win this game. Like Dev said, I don't know what it means past this game, but I think they definitely win this game at home.
Jimmy, you have a lot of experience with your team with teams peaking early, right?
I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Absolutely. I mean, if we could cheat to win like the Patriots do, but that's a whole different story. We don't know what the other teams are running. So
I'll see you in the AFC title.
Frank, the pre-show has invaded the show.
Absolutely, every time.
Listen, though, guys. Once upon a time, I heard that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers never won a game.
Oh, I know. That was
under 40 degrees.
I remember that.
And then they beat the Eagles and went to the Super Bowl and won it. So I'm not trying to hear any of that.
Oh, no, I ain't talking about the weather. The Saints are a bad road team, though. The Buccaneers were actually a good road team. They just couldn't play in cold weather at that point. Yeah. That was the worst loss in Eagles history because they started the game off with a kick return, and that's either here nor there.
Yeah. Stop bringing up old stuff.
My bad, King.
All right, let's go to Sunday's games. Chargers versus Bengals. Kind of an intriguing matchup. Fred, you want to take this one first?
The Bengals have done this time and time again. In a game they should win. You have all the talent in the world. Right now, you have the better wide receiver core. You have the better tight end position. You're better up front. You're better on defense. Yet they're going to find a way to squander this game. And with all that being said, I still think they're going to win this game. Andy Dalton can't throw 4 picks, and he cannot stare at AJ Green.
They're gonna squander a game but win it at the same time.
They usually find a way to squander the game. They find a way to squander games, but I think they're gonna find a way. I just think the Chargers.
What's that Jerry Jones moral victory type stuff?
Yeah, what is that? Like, how do you squander a game and yet win it? Like, you don't squander the game if you win, do you?
Yes, you can find a way to squander it and still come out with the win.
Huh?
Hey,
hold on. That's everybody else. Am I crazy?
What? No. You can find a way to squander a lead and still win.
This sounds like a
Beyonce Now you're changing what you said. You said squander a lead. You said squander the game and win. And I was going to ask you to pass whatever piff you over there smoking, because you can't squander a game and win. But at the end of the day, all right, squander a lead and win. I got you.
Yeah, I got
nonetheless, long as Andy Dalton doesn't throw 4 picks in this game, I think they win this game by a field goal at the end.
That's not that far out of the realm of possibility, though.
Yeah, I think the Chargers did a lot, in my opinion, to turn things around and get into the playoffs. So they have that story with them, and they could be a team of destiny, but I don't really see it happening. I watch a lot of Chargers games, and of course, it had a lot to do with fantasy football.
Sorry to hear about.
I paid attention to the Chargers, and I just don't see them being able to go across country and win this game. Of course, Andy Dalton has to, he has to calm down with the turnovers because this is playoff football. You know what I'm saying? The turnover battle is going to decide most of these games this weekend. So you can't go into the game like he did last weekend, throw 4 picks, and still think that they're going to win the game because they're not that good of a team. You're not going to do that two weeks in a row. So I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. I think Andy Dalton's he's not going to play mistake-free football, but, in comparison to what he did last week, I think he'll clean it up a little bit. Phillip Rivers is probably going to try to put the whole thing on his back, and I just don't think his back is strong enough at this point. So I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. Damien, my bad.
I'm going to take the Bengals on this one. This matchup actually brings me back to, I'm going to say bring me back, with my Michael J. Fox. I remember watching one of the old NFL films, and I remember the matchup, the Chargers coming out to face the Browns in that cold weather, and it didn't work out well for them. The West Coast teams coming out to this side of the country at this time of year, I just don't see it, not to mention the matchup works well in the Bengals' favor when you talk about on the defensive line. I think the key, though, if the Chargers are going to win this football game, it has to be Keenan Allen. He has to step up. He has to be big time. I think if he has a good game, I think the Chargers do have a chance, but I think I'm going to take the Bengals on Sunday.
See, now watch how things change on us. Chargers, all those years, they go like 14-2 and choke. Chargers are going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
The Chargers actually have to run the ball on the goal line to do that, though.
That's one of the subtle storylines of this game, I think, is that the Bengals kind of remind me of the Chargers from years ago, like those old Phillip Rivers teams where you thought they had all the talent, but somehow they just couldn't put it all together. I think this game is easily probably going to be the worst played game. I don't think anybody's going to win this game. I think somebody's going to lose it. I'm leaning towards the Bengals, but I can easily see an Andy Dalton, up 3, trying to run out the clock in a final possession, throwing a pick, where it ends up, in a touchdown. Just something stupid like that. I think somebody's going to lose this game and nobody's going to win it. I'm going to take the Bengals, though.
Mark Sanchez butt fumble.
Yeah, a little Mark Sanchez-like performances out there. Like I said, I definitely don't think it's going to be a well-executed game. I think it's going to be low scoring. I got the Bengals. I'm not comfortable with it, though.
For me, I don't even care. This is one game where, I love football, love playoff football. I don't even want to watch this game, I just don't,
and the thing is, analysts say, I don't even care about this game.
I'm just keeping it a bean, And the thing is, though, it's like I said earlier, Bengals, and you guys have all said it, they find a way to lose games they should win, but it's like, I can't pick the Chargers, They got Danny Woodhead and Ryan Matthews as their I can't pick the Chargers. I just can't. That being said, Dev brought up the point. It's going to be the reverse. The Chargers have always went in the playoffs, with great expectations. Word to Pippen, but find a way to lose. And now, they're playing with house money. They're not even supposed to be here right now. So, they should be able to play free. But again, traveling cross country, and like Damon loves to talk about the weather, now you're going to play in Cincinnati. I'm just going to take the Bengals. I don't think they'll squander the game and still win the game because you can't do that. But I want to take the Bengals to win this game.
I do want to say that I am thoroughly excited to see Phillip Rivers in a playoff game again. That's been long missed. I want to see him jump up and down like a 15-year-old schoolgirl getting asked to prom after his first touchdown after 3 interceptions. It's going to be wonderful.
Wow.
All right. So last game of the weekend could be the best game of the weekend or not. It depends because the weather will affect this game. This is not some 23 degrees, Eagles Saints type of thing. We got the 49ers visiting the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I hear it's supposed to be somewhere in the area of like -30 when this game is kicked off. Seriously, like there has to be a breaking point. You got to cancel games for this, man. Now with all that macho stuff, you got to cancel the game.
Yo, you know what's funny? There's still going to be dudes in like short sleeves too. There's going to be some dude that's going to be like, nah, man, I'm a football player. He's going to be in short sleeves. You're going to see frostbite all across the desert.
He's a man. He's 30.
But the weather of this one in perspective. We all have heard the legend of the notorious season ticket waiting list of the Green Bay Packers. And their game was this close to being blacked out in Green Bay because they couldn't sell the game out. And it had a lot to do with the weather. Like I said, I don't know what the Colts fans' excuse is, but -30 is a reason not to go to a game if you have a television at home. So what do you guys think could possibly happen? Will the passing game even show up in this weather? Or
well, here's the thing about this game, right?
That tough?
You said this should be the most exciting game, and on paper it should be. I mean, Jason Collins is now back at quarterback. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers is now back at quarterback. Man. Now that Aaron Rodgers is back at quarterback, you would think this would be an exciting game. You remember the playoff game last year between the two teams?
Man.
It was an exciting game. It was an exciting game last year in the playoffs between the Packers and the Niners, and this should be another good one. What a weather factor. I mean, it has to. It definitely has. There's no way it can't factor. I mean, but now they have Eddie Lacy, so they have a little bit of a running game now. It's tough to go against Green Bay at home, but and again, this is another West Coast team traveling all the way to to Green Bay to play this game in the cold. But the Niners are just they're very physical. They have a good defense. Their running game is tough, but man, it's a toss-up. I got Green Bay 24-23.
Okay. And remember, these two teams
it can go either way.
Off in the first
it
game
can go either
of the
way.
Season.
No shots at Aaron Rodgers, but it can go either way.
These teams squared off in the first game of the season, and they're going to square off in one of their last games of the season. Damon, who are you taking on this one?
By the way, Jimmy, nice joke. I had to throw that out there. I'm going to take the 49ers. I think you did bring up the West Coast factor in this game, but I do think that if anybody can play on the East Coast in the cold weather, I think it is the 49ers. They have the style of play to make it work.
Defense in the running game.
Frank Gore, my man, he's going to come out. He's going to have a good game. I'm going to go 150. Frank Gore on Sunday. He's done it before. He's ripped the Packers before. He'll rip them again.
I hope that comes true.
I also would like to see somehow, maybe, if the Lord will help me, Clay Matthews possibly decapitating Colin Kaepernick again, but I don't think that's going to happen. Either way, even if it doesn't happen, whatever. But I'm going to take it from the Packers.
Damn.
I ain't got no hate for you, Colin. I think it will be
He'll try. He's tried before.
Absolutely. As he should.
He's tried before, so yeah.
He tried to single-handedly get that man CTE.
So, as you guys well know, I've been on the Packers bandwagon for a few weeks now. I said once Aaron Rodgers got back, if they got into the playoffs, they'd be dangerous. I'm going to stick to that. I got Green Bay at home. It's going to be a great game. I feel like there's going to be like 10 moments in this game where I'm thinking, this is playoff football. Like, I'm just going to be like, really excited. And, dude, especially after that Cincinnati-San Diego
clunker.
Yeah, that's a good one. Terrible just performance. I'm going to want to see a real football game. I think Aaron Rodgers is the difference. I mean, when you have that quarterback, I mean, when it's cold like that, you just need one player makes more of a difference in those kind of games than a traditional football game, because you need that one guy that's going to make that one play for you, like you saw in the Bears game. The only difference in the Bears-Packers game was that one play Aaron Rodgers made for the touchdown to Randall Cobb. I mean, that was the game. And I think you're going to see much more like that in this game.
I like the 49ers defense, but I got to go with the Packers. I agree with Frank. We kind of agreed earlier on. Once Aaron Rodgers came back, you could just see the difference in how this team is. They can run the football, but they couldn't throw the football because somebody was only a third of Aaron Rodgers. Now you have all of Aaron Rodgers. So now I just think Aaron Rodgers is just going to – I think they're going to run the football pretty well. Eddie Lacy's going to get his yards. This defense for the 49ers, the one thing I do have to say is with a guy like Patrick Willis in the middle, stuffing that run, it's gonna be tough. And if the Packers don't continue to run the ball, and if they just give up on it and try to put it all on Rodgers, they could easily lose this game.
I agree.
But I think Mike McCarthy is going to be smart enough to lean on Eddie Lacy. He's done it the last couple of weeks. And Aaron Rodgers, man, he's a bad dude. I mean, first game back, and he just completely he lights the Bears up. And, yeah, everybody does it. But one game after messing up his collarbone, I mean, you really have to take your hat off to him. I still think it's going to be a close game, 21-24.
And I think you've seen that from the Packers in the playoffs, too, where they do tend to lean on their running game more than they do in the regular season. You know, in their Super Bowl run, James Starks all of a sudden got on fire, and he became the guy.
Exactly.
And now that they have a legitimate option in Eddie Lacy, I think you're going to see them lean on him a lot more.
Hey, Fred, so you think the Packers are going to win the game, Fred?
Yes, I do.
Do you think they'll squander the game at the same time?
You guys hear me?
I think the Broncos are going to squander their game.
Oh, here you go. No shots, man. Yeah. Listen, I'm saving my trash talk right now, beloved. Listen, man. All right, Dev. What you got, Dev?
Can you guys hear me? Because I think I'm having.
We can hear you. You're not Roger Troutman right now. We can hear you.
Short and sweet for me. Short and sweet for me on this one, because I can one-up Fred and Frank on this. I've been jocking the Packers ever since Aaron Rodgers stepped onto the field. So this is a pride pick for me because I think the 49ers pose every kind of threat you can pose to win this game. But I picked the Packers to win to go to the Super Bowl preseason. So just because they're in the mix, I got to pick those guys. So I'm going with the Packers.
You picked the Packers and Broncos, right?
Nothing profound in that one.
So everyone has the Packers.
The Packers and Broncos.
Everybody has the Packers, so I guess I'm the lone wolf. I guess I should do no, I'm not doing that.
One man wolf pack.
I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna stick to mine. I'm a solo.
Hey, Mr. Purdue, who was your preseason Super Bowl picks?
My preseason Super Bowl pick was the Broncos.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear. You can stop right there. That's all.
And the 49ers.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
Oh, boy.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Oh, boy. Boy. I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
Jim, you can take us out.
You already know, man. Listen. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Like the video, share the video. Tell us what you think about these playoff games. Make sure you watch it before the game start because we will have this up before the game start. As we always say in the war room, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we shall see you chumps on top.
Bird gang.
The Steelers didn't make the playoffs?
Didn't
make the playoffs?
Play football.
Bird gang.
I'll see you in the AFC title game.
Kuwait, it's the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.